You're watching Claremont Voices. Now here's your host, Tom Wiebel.
Well, thank you, Tim. You know, I realized recently that we neglected to tell you just where we are for the benefit of you who see us on YouTube. And of course, we're from Claremont Retirement Village, Claremont. And we're located in northwest Columbus, Ohio. We're very close to a place called Dublin and pretty close to a city of Worthington. And that's who we are. Tim Spengler and I introduced fellow residents who share their life stories with us. And we have a really good time doing that. And we thank you for finding us. So on this edition, I get a chance to meet one of my good friends here, Evie Dobrin. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
And by the way, Evie is short for what?
Elva Lee.
And how'd that come about?
My mother's first name was Elva, and my father's middle name was Lee.
And you were born where?
In Valley Bend, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm. And you spent the early part of your life there?
Up at 11 years.
Okay. You were, I think you had said you were the oldest child?
Yes, of 4, yes.
Mm-hmm. Which meant you became mom's helper, I guess, and all that, right?
Yes, yes.
And so you had a pretty good childhood there, I guess?
Yes.
What led you, oh, by the way, before I get to that, your family goes well back in history.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
My father's family goes all the way back to the 1400s. They came to the East Coast, and they were all settled in Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. They were all in that area.
Were they traced back to in Europe?
Yes, they were all from Europe, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, eventually, though, you got to Ohio. I believe it was Akron. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how did that come about?
It was during World War II, and my uncle, who lived in Akron, got my father a job for Goodyear, so he moved up here and worked, and then we moved up later. And I was 11 years old when we moved to Akron.
Mm-hmm.
And then my father left us, and my mother had to go back to work. She had to go to work in a rubber cap factory so she could have some money, because my father gave us hardly no money at all. So I had to be kind of in charge of the other 3. I have one sister that was 2 years younger than I was, so she and I were probably kind of mother type thing during that period.
When did you first have to go to work?
Well, during my high school years, I worked at a outdoor market, and then I did a lot of babysitting, so I could have new clothes, because I wore hand-me-down clothes until I was almost out of high school.
So you had to kind of earn your way then.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you realized what it took to do a job.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I believe you knew your future husband back in school?
Yes, he and I were in the same homeroom because C&D went together, and then I asked him out first to a dance which was done by the YMCA, and then from that time, I went to several other dances, and then he went to school down at OU for a semester, and I went down there several times to visit him.
I want to back up for one thing. Your original last name?
It's Chewning, and it's Chewning. And I don't know what nationality it is. I have no idea.
I wanted to make sure we knew that. So when college came about, then you say you went to college?
No, the reason I didn't is because my mother was having a hard time raising us because she wasn't making that kind of money. So I decided my mother was more important at that time, because my sister was only 2 years old when we moved up here. And so anyways, I stayed home and did the laundry and did that type of stuff and tried to take care of my two siblings, my brother and my sister. So I helped my mother out buying groceries and paying bills and stuff like that until she got on her feet, because she told us at one time that she came very close to having to put us in the children's home. She didn't know how she was going to take care of us.
Mm. You worked in a bank at one time?
Yes, I worked at Dime Bank in Akron.
Dime Bank?
Dime Bank in Akron, yes. And I worked in proof department for a while. I worked in another apartment that they paid like Mellon and big banks. And then from there I went into mortgage loan department and I was a bookkeeper there.
Mm-hmm. You had said that you were maybe shy early on?
Yeah, oh yes, I was very, very quiet. People would say, "You're too quiet. I don't know you."
Well, as we learn more about you, we'll see how you came out of your shell. If anything, you had a busy life, I would say,
yes.
Once we get to really learn
yes.
about you.
Right.
Okay, so you were working still back in Akron then?
Yes, I worked. My husband was still going to college, and so I was working at the bank, and then he graduated on one week, and the next week we got married, and then he was in ROTC. Mm-hmm. And then we went in November, then we went to San Antonio, where he had to go and do 6 weeks of training there, and then from there he went to Houston and was at Ellington Air Force Base, which is now Nassau. Mm-hmm. And he was a navigator. He was in navigating school.
Okay.
And then from there, he had a choice of different places to go, and so he decided he wanted to go to Japan.
Okay. Now, your marriage was a long one. How many years?
69 years ago.
Okay. And you lost him just a couple of years ago,
yes.
I think you said.
Yes.
And how many children did you two have?
We had 2 boys.
Okay.
One was Mark, and he's now he's 63, and my oldest son died last year at 67 of cancer. And he worked for Procter & Gamble, and he was the head of the paper department, and he also did some work for Nassau at the time. And then my youngest son, he works at Bank One as a risk analysis person.
Okay.
And they both have a stats master's degree from college at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've gotten you that far in your life. Let's pick up with your husband now in the Air Force, and headed for Japan.
Okay, he had to go over to Japan in January, and I was 6 months pregnant, so I had to wait till the baby was born. And then I traveled from Akron, Ohio to Japan by myself with a 2-year-old on a plane of nothing but military people. And then we went to Tokyo, and then from there he was stationed down in Ashia, Japan, which is the most southern island there. Mm-hmm. And that's where he was. It was on the Sea of Japan.
Talk a little about your life there.
Well, we did a lot of traveling during the years during cherry blossom time. They had a lot of cherry trees, and they would have paths underneath, and then you could see the geisha girls in their costumes walking along these paths. Beautiful. It was just beautiful. We did a lot of traveling to Kyoto, which was a very beautiful town, and it's the oldest capital of Japan at that time, and they were very thankful that the United States military did not bomb it at all. They were very nice. We never heard anything that was bad at all about it. I mean, they could have complained the damage we did, but they did not. They did not. They were they're very lovely people. So
did you get close to some of the folks there? I think some maybe worked for you.
Yes, we had a maid who was a real cute. She would come and she'd say, "Now, how do you pronounce this in English?" Because she wanted to make sure that her 2 boys knew exactly how to do it. Mm-hmm. So I helped her with that, and she would try to cook, and then of course she would all the maids would take their babies on a stroller and then try to brag about which one was the best. all the time. So, and then I also took Japanese flower arranging there, which I really enjoyed. It was really neat. It was really neat.
You sort of got more into the art scene maybe while you were there?
Yes, and I played bridge a lot.
Uh-huh. You're still doing that,
Yeah,
by the
I'm
way.
still doing it, yes.
You're at
Yes.
Claremont. Did you actually collect any art then?
Yes, I have 2 scrolls, and I have two woodblock prints from Japan. And then my son went to, that's what I bought there. And we also bought a table back, a Japanese table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the only thing well, and then I have a Kata doll from there. And see what else, I'm trying to think what we have. But
Okay. You're not to the art that I'm holding yet then?
No.
No. Make sure I didn't miss it.
No.
Okay. So that was a really interesting time for you.
It was very interesting, yes, and I wish I could go back again because I really love the Japanese people. And education was very, very important to them, very important to them. Their kids had to have, and if you went on a trip, they would not speak Japanese to you. They would want to speak English because they wanted to know how to speak English because they had trouble with, instead of rock and roll, is lock and roll. They couldn't pronounce the R's. So, but the people were wonderful. I mean, everybody we ever talked to, they were just wonderful people. Very nice, very polite, made you feel welcome.
Wow, so those were memorable times.
Yes.
Good memories. So take us from there then. Obviously, you headed back here at a certain time.
Yes. In 1957, we came back to the United States, and then my husband's mother was by herself, so we bought a 2-story house, and we moved in, and I had my son there.
And this is where now?
It was in Akron.
Oh, back in Ohio.
Back in Ohio,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, we lived there for 30 years, and then she had a stroke, so then she had to go to a nursing home. Then we stayed there and raised our boys there, and they went to high school there at Cuckoo Falls High School. And then from there, then they went on to college, and we moved to a condo, which was in Monroe Falls, which was really very nice. We had a small lake in front of us, and a jogging trail, and a railroad track, and what else, you know.
But good living then.
Yeah, it was really good living. I really enjoyed it, and I've always enjoyed doing yard work. Always. I've done tons of it, and I love it, but I can't do it here because of my knees. So.
Okay. So life was good up there, and
yes.
And then move on from there.
Okay, from there, then we sold our house, and then we moved into a condo. And that's where the condo was. It was in Monroe Falls, and we really liked it there. And we lived there for 17 years. And then we moved down here. My son called me. We had sold our condo. We were ready to go to Arizona to retire because we had some high school friends that lived there, and we used to go there every once in a while during the winter for a week or two. And my son called from Reynoldsburg, and he said, "Mom, you're not going anywhere." He said, "I've got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. I needed somebody to take care of it because he was getting a divorce from his wife." So I came down, and probably was one of the best things in my life that I've done. I enjoyed taking care of the 2 girls. We had a good time. We did a lot of things together, and I was with them until they were out of high school. They were very active in high school, and in grade school they did a lot of plays together. The oldest daughter sang in the choir in high school. It was really very, very good.
So that was really a good experience for you.
It was a
then.
very good experience. I enjoyed it. I don't forget it. I mean,
you didn't feel like you'd been cheated anyway then?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, so we're at that point, but eventually then you wound up, is this about the time you looked at the business world?
Yes. My son my husband decided he wanted to get into a restaurant, and I was against it, but we went on ahead and did it anyways. And before that, we were in American Indian jewelry business for about 5 or 6 years.
Now you said, by the way, he was a long-time teacher.
Yes, for 32 years.
And what level of school?
High school. He taught high school for 32 years.
And that was where?
in the Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. In
Well, it was in that vicinity. And,
yes,
okay.
yes.
If you think of it, then we'll.
Yeah, Woodbridge High School is where he taught.
Okay.
Woodbridge High School.
Now, now we get to the business of you opening. Well, you had almost. Did this business of Indian jewelry start out as sort of a hobby?
Yes, with my husband. Yes. And he enjoyed it very much. And we would
then
travel out west to get stuff.
But it developed into more. How did that all happen? Just because you saw the interest in?
Well,
in
my
that?
husband had a teacher whose husband owned Indian jewelry business, and he decided during the summer he'd like to do that, something to do during the summer and make some money. So that's how it all got started. He did that.
What was the name you had for your store?
Silver Rain was the Indian jewelry store.
And this led you into contact, of course, I guess, with Native Americans.
Right. And we had a Zuni couple, and this is where this necklace came from. This is all done by the Zuni people.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was all done. And they all have their names on a piece of paper. And we had, her daughter decided she would like to come and stay with us and go to school, in the American school. And it only worked about 3 months, and she just could not take the American way of going to school and the whole culture. So she went back, and her mother said, that's okay, she did what she wanted to do, and she found out it wasn't her way. So, and I understood she was a very lovely girl.
You had some artwork here. Is this the time to show?
Okay, this is a...
Bring it over. And, what is this?
This is a hairline bear.
Let's hold it up here. A bear?
Yes, it's called a hairline bear. And it's out of I'm trying to think what the name of the stuff is. It's been so long.
It's a mineral, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out of jet, is what it is.
What sort of, okay, well, thank you for that.
And then this is coral. This is coral.
Oh.
The red is coral.
Some really great work, it looks like. Well, thank you. What was the general price range? I mean, was this pretty expensive stuff you were selling?
You know, it's been so long ago, I really don't remember. I'm sorry, but I just...
But it went well, though.
Yes, oh yeah.
Well, and you were probably kind of unique in having that store.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting. Some of the stuff that we would get, we'd go up to Canada to buy stuff like this. And it was very interesting with some of the things that we bought. It was very, very unusual.
How long did that all last?
We had the American Indian business for about 5 or 6 years. And then when, in '81, he decided he wanted to go into a restaurant business.
Your husband?
Yes. And I was against it. Because I knew the work. I knew the work that was involved.
This wound up being almost next door to the first business?
Yes.
And what was that called?
The first business was called Silver Rain, and then the second business was called Dobie's Corner, and it was in the corner of a little small mall.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so...
So you kind of learned as you went then? And you were never really trained for that business, were you?
What for
the restaurant?
No. But I did a lot of cooking, I guess my mother said, when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because I had to. But anyways, I learned real quick, and particularly baking. I did a lot of baking. Like I did cheesecakes, torts, gâteaux, special pies, and my special pie that I made all the time for a lot of people for holidays was my chocolate chip cookie pie. I sold a lot of those for Christmas and all kinds of birthdays, stuff like that.
So the place became pretty popular?
Yes, we had a good crowd all the time. We had a couple senators that would come in all the time to eat. So
you were telling me about how people judge restaurants.
Yeah. A lot of people, I've heard this many times, and they said that people will judge a restaurant by their bathrooms, how clean they are, how clean they are. And I've heard that many times, so I was the one that went in and always kept every night the bathrooms clean.
You put in a lot of hours.
I did, plus working a full-time job.
Oh my goodness. Did you have many employees?
Yes, we had some very nice employees, some very nice. In fact, I still have contact with one girl that was one of our waitresses. She calls me all the time, you know, or I try to get a hold of her too. So
having been involved, what's it take to be a successful restaurant then? Obviously, cleanliness,
good food,
good food, of course.
Good food, being very nice to people. You have to be that way, even though you get some grumpy ones in there, but you have to kind of eat it and let it go down because they're not going to be any different. Because we've had a few of them that way. But I mean, the food was probably the main thing because we had a lot of Romanian food there because my husband
Romanian.
my husband was Romanian, so we had a lot of Romanian food there. And then we always had 2 different kinds of fish and 2 different kinds of steaks, and then whatever else, you know. And of course, we had to have stuffed cabbage, which was a Romanian dish.
Okay.
You know, so.
Did you get a lot of family business?
Yes, we did. We got a lot of families. Yeah,
So the restaurant was open for how long, roughly?
From 81 to 96.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you sell it or just shut it down?
No, we just shut it down because we're getting close to retirement. Because I retired in 2000, but he was already retired and working on the side beside. But we decided. And plus, they were starting to build a lot of fast food restaurants around us, which was cutting into our lunch business. So we decided we'd be better off just to go ahead and close it.
Then where from there then when you ended that? Did you move then away?
Yeah, no, we moved into our condo from there.
Okay.
And we lived in our condo, and then I worked full time up until 2000, and. Then from there, I came down here when I took care of the 2 little girls after that.
Now we have something to hold up here, as if you needed something else to do. You wrote a cookbook.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see that. Let me hold it out there. What brought this about?
We had a person that was. She was a writer for food and restaurants, and she said, because of your food, I think you should do it. So we did. My husband wrote 2 books, and I wrote my book, and it went all over the United States, Canada, not Canada, but to Washington State, Oregon, Pennsylvania, just a lot of different out of states from here.
My goodness. And what were his books about?
One was soups, and the other one was main meals.
Wow. All right. Now, along the way, of course, you were a church member, and I guess knowing you got caught up in a lot of that activity and many hours?
Yes, and in Akron, I was president of the Ladies Auxiliary for 9 years. I sang in the choir for 30 years. And so I was there until we moved down here. And then from there, then we had our church now is in Sunbury.
Okay.
And I was treasurer there for 9 years, and I did a lot of the yard work for the church to keep it looking nice. And so that's what I did for that one.
You did a lot of singing too. Then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. And then when we lived in our condo, I was secretary for 11 years to a condo association.
Well, that's why we said the busy life. So,
but that's what I like, though. I don't like to sit around all day long. I got to have things to do.
And you still have things to do. You got caught up in a lot of collecting art and helping produce it. Tell me about this item right here I'm holding up here.
This here is a Navajo vase.
Oh, okay.
And I made myself.
You made that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
That's using what material?
All kinds of different yarns.
Okay. Wow. And then there's another one here that, what's the story on this one here?
I collect angels. And
angels?
Yes, I love, I've got all kinds of angels. And that is my counted cross-stitch angel, one of them.
Wow.
And I have a very big one that's very pretty.
It's like an art gallery when one sees where you live.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place.
Well, thank you.
And obviously you never really studied art per se, but you sure got an education along the way, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoy doing a lot of needlework. I always have been. My mother started me out with doing pillowcases, you know, doing needlework and that, and then from there and stockings. I've made probably about 25 Christmas stockings.
Wow.
For nieces, nephews, godchildren, my own grandchildren. In fact, I made one for each one of their firstborn. I made it several years ago. So my oldest granddaughter is going to get hers in October.
What's the total number of grandkids?
I have 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 girls and the 1 boy that's in Arizona.
And you love the card game of bridge. You said you've really played that a good part of your life.
Yes, I have. I for about 30 years I didn't do it, but then when I came here, I suggested I'd like to play bridge. So we play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday bridge, and I love it. I mean, we have a good time. We don't take anything serious. So you do something wrong, so what? You know, just a fun get together. That's what it is.
Are you still cooking up some of your specialties?
I don't do a lot of cooking because I have to be careful what I eat, but if I do, because I have some stomach problems, and so I have to be careful certain things that they fix down there. So I keep things like fish, and I have chicken, and I also keep brats, and then I also keep salmon and shrimp. So
now we're learning life stories a little at a time, and you said that interchange is important for you too, to learn about each other.
Yes.
It's kind of what makes it all worthwhile. And,
right.
And when you look back over, you've certainly had a fascinating life.
Yes,
when you reflect on it.
Right, and we also did a lot of traveling abroad too.
Did you?
Yes, over the years. Yes.
Well, good for you, and thank you for taking part.
And I'm glad we did it, because we would never been able to do it with the way my husband was at the very end.
Okay.
Because we just couldn't undo it. So, but I'm glad that we did what we did.
Evie Dobrin, and complete life, and you can rightly be proud of what you accomplished.
I am. I'm proud. I've learned a lot. Learned a lot, you know. So.
Okay. Well, my colleague Tim, I think we covered it pretty well. I always say if I left out anything, but I guess I didn't. We do okay, right? Okay. Thank you, sir.
I'm just glad. I'm just sorry that I didn't. Is that? Oh, that's still on. I'm sorry, but I just that I forgot a couple things what I was thinking of.
Well, that's something that all of us here cope with. That's all right. And thank you for watching, whether you found us on YouTube or wherever. I'm Tom, and always enjoy our get-togethers. So we'll see you once again, as I say, down the road. No, down the hall.
That's right, down the hall.
Right?
You're right.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this.